Okay. We are officially live. Goddamn. Libra Knight's first live stream, baby. I am excited. A little nervous, but we're just gonna jump right in. Fuck it, man. This is a lot more intimidating than I thought it would be just because I got. I can't hide behind editing. Okay, we'll just run with it. So, today, actually, you know what? I have a good idea. Let me just do this real quick. Display capture. Let's have that. Oh, sorry. Can I have this visible and pop that up? Perfect. Maybe. No, no, no. Sorry, guys. This is gonna take a second. Can I just have an image? Perfect. Okay. And excellent. There we are. And I can just get rid of that. Perfect. All right. Who is pro streamer right now? Okay, cool, 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 cool. Without further ado, let's get into this because I want to actually record this at the same time, so this is not a total waste. Hopefully, the sound volumes aren't too crazy. Um, Let me actually hear that for a second. Without further ado, let's get into this because I want to actually record this at the same time, so this is not a total waste. Hopefully, the sound volumes aren't too crazy. Let me actually hear that for a second. All right, I'll take it. I'll fucking take it, man. All right, great, 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 great. That's my projector going off. I got a fucking like, bro. If you saw this shoddy ass setup, you'd be like, "Damn, bro, how is he streaming like this?" All right, all right, chat. Today, I want to talk to you guys about one of the most beloved characters in anime history, Itachi Uchiha, the prodigy, the genius, the martyr, and also a mass murderer. Let's get into that. Now, before anyone in the chat starts throwing a kunai at me, let me just start by saying this up front, right? I actually do think Itachi is an amazing character. I also think he's one of the most poorly constructed characters in Naruto from purely from a writing standpoint. Um, and the reason for that is that I think it applies to Naruto as a whole, right? Masashi Kishimoto is he's an incredible artist. Um, he's obviously taken a lot of inspiration from, as he said, kung fu movies, growing up with Jackie Chan and stuff like that, right? Um, Watching Bruce Lee, that he has even mentioned in several interviews that he does take direct inspiration from martial arts into his writing or his drawings, right? But he is a very inconsistent long form writer. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of sources that state that like the editor pretty much did all of the heavy lifting for him. Originally, Masashi Kishimoto pretty much wanted the original story of Naruto to just be um, literally just a whole plethora of animal characters just talking to each other, which is just kind of dumb. Anyway, so let's just start from the beginning. So I do have a lot of this scripted just because I'm a little nervous and I just want to have some substance here. So I'm not just yapping. So these are my real thoughts. I just structured it down. Okay. So when Itachi first appears in Naruto, he's framed very clearly, right? He's a villain, not just a villain, but a fucking menace. He murdered his whole entire clan, and not only that, he fucking stabbed his parents in the back. He cooperated with basically the biggest asshole of the Leaf that ever existed in its history, pretty much. He literally basically cooperated with the Leafs Hitler and said, "Okay, let's do it." And I don't know how fans rush to justify this. He psychologically tortures his younger brother just by flashing his Mangekyo, which, by the way, left Kakashi hospitalized. A grown man hospitalized in just by glancing at this man's eyes for 5 seconds. He was hospitalized 3 days consecutively, bro. And then he decided to use that same jutsu on his Genin younger brother. Not even Genin. I don't think he was Genin, bro. He didn't even graduate the Konoha kindergarten or whatever at the time. Anyway, he murdered his entire clan. He psychologically tortures his brother, and then he joins one of the most dangerous organizations in the world, Akatsuki, right? And it's just like it's not subtle storytelling, and it's not even really smart. I love how Itachi fans are like so quick to justify. It's like, no, the only reason you see him as an asshole is because they wanted you to think that. Dude, this man is literally evil. The whole point. The thing is, and here's the thing: Musashi Kishimoto is like a really good like vibe story guy. You know, like he knows all the big points. He wants two really big, strong guys to clash it out. He's great for that. What he's not great at is that little substance leading up to it, which pretty much gives the rest of the story structure. And that's important a lot because a lot of Naruto fans today like to argue that Kishimoto has always planned Itachi to be a tragic hero. But if you look at the early portrayal, it just doesn't support that idea at all. Early Itachi is cold, he's sadistic, he's emotionally detached, and completely committed to pushing Sasuke towards revenge. And it's like, I don't know, I don't get this sort of fucked up logic where it's like, oh, dude, that's what older brother do. That is when you push someone for revenge, it's for good. It's so that he grows stronger. That's not how you grow anyone. How do you make anyone stronger by making him like bloodthirsty, bro? That doesn't make any sense, right? Oh, you want to go stronger? I will traumatize you. Go to Dagestan 3 years and forget. Like, oh my god. Anyway, it's like he's this unreachable mountain that Sasuke must one day climb, and it's the setup. Let's be real. There's no deeper meaning behind it. It's just he just wanted a big bad guy to be like at it, and yeah, at the same time, I'm just thinking, what's the end goal, right? But then we move on to the retcon of the stuff because we see these characters interact. We see that epic clash in the Konoha, and then something later happens in the story where we're now taking a turn from this evil, abusive older brother role. Then he's like, oh, turns out Itachi wasn't actually evil. He was just secretly a double agent working for Konoha, preventing a civil war, and sacrifices his entire reputation to protect the village. And it's just like, what the fuck? What part of that storytelling was implanted in the beginning? Like, that's such an ass pull to me. And then, so now the story basically wants to reframe him as this tragic martyr, a man who killed his own family for the greater good. And emotionally, that reveal works really well, right? Like, sure, we have that crazy scene where, you know, we have the Itachi just like the thumbnail. It's like we have the cover bleeding, and she's like, "Oh, be good, Sasuke," and then he dies. But it just, I mean, it's powerful. It's dramatic. It recontextualizes Sasuke's entire life. But I mean, if you look at it logically, it creates a ton of problems, right? Because if Itachi really loved Sasuke, why torture him with Tsukiyomi? Who the fuck does that? Not once, but like twice. He met him again later on, and just like, fucking, oh, you're weak. You're still weak. It's like, what is the point, bro? You're just torturing him for fun, bro. And it's like, I don't see how that's like a protective older brother of you to basically mentally debilitate your younger brother to the point where he's literally an outcast from the rest of the village. Like no one wants to talk to him. I know the anime wants to make it seem like, oh, he's a cool character. No, like he just keeps to himself. No, he's just a fucking weirdo, bro. Like, bro, it's like you see him like later on, like how poorly adjusted he is. He barely sees his own kid. Anyway, my bigger question is, why does Itachi feel mentally the need to traumatize the one person who supposedly he wanted to protect? If Itachi was secretly protecting Konoha, why help Akatsuki capture tailed beasts? Why participate in missions that actively destabilize the world, right? And then there's the biggest question of all, because if the massacre was all about preventing a coup, why kill every single Uchiha, including civilians and children? That doesn't make any sense, bro. And I've argued with a ton of people online about this. That's why I'm out here. That's why I'm streaming this shit, yapping about this crap. Um, why participate in missions that the and you're trying to the original story is with Masashi Kishimoto trying to push this idea forward that the whole reason Itachi did any of it was this sort of secret undercover op shit, which I would have even bought, but that's just not very main character older brother high IQ moment, because he literally slaughters every single one of them, like junior members of the leaves, of the leaf, and it doesn't add up, because if he is logically as powerful as the story makes him out to be, he's one of the strongest genjutsu in the world. He's got Susanoo, he's got yada yada yada. My question is, why couldn't he just have escaped Konoha to like a different village? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of these tinier, smaller villages where he could have resided Sasuke, or just even left him, just kept him hidden away. The same way he's keeping tabs on Sasuke, he could have just done that with like his family and stuff. I don't know. It makes more sense than killing your entire fucking clan for no fucking reason. Like the women and children. Like I think Masashi Kishimoto watched Star Wars and like they wanted to pull that Darth Vader thing, whatever. I haven't seen Star Wars, but I get the gist of it. But I think that was the original inspiration, which also is kind of stupid. But anyway. Going on into the expansion of Itachi's story, now there's something interesting, right? Where the story didn't just stop expanding Itachi's motivation. Over time, we just got more and more materials explaining his actions, which I get it. He's like a fan favorite character, and they're pushing, but so is Shikamaru. So is like, I mean, Obito, I think is a big time fan favorite. Why did we not get any of them like in their own little stories? I think we got a little bit of Kakashi, but not quite as much. Minato is iconic, but everybody wants to guzzle Itachi's nutsack, and it just try to push this idea that he's this ideal older brother character archetype, which is frankly really poorly written. The thing is, over time, with the light novels, the anime flashbacks, the data books, and here's the thing, I have argued with so many people in the Naruto subreddit about this, where they're just arguing and defending this character to death. It just doesn't add up, because if a character is well written, he doesn't need that much more supplementary material to justify the one thing that he did from the first moment of the first scene of the fucking show, right? It's like, I mean, I get it if you just want to leave it as like a mystery edgy ninja, but that's just not how the world of Naruto works. At least that's not how Masashi chooses to write the story. Every single bad guy has to have some kind of explanation. Even the alien goddess Kaguya has this boo-hoo, I was bullied as a kid moment where it's like, I mean, come on, it's just, I get it that there's like no two-dimensional characters, but adhering to that ideology, that grounding point, to the point of trying to justify Itachi's actions, is what really bothers me about Masashi Kishimoto's writing. The thing is, he wrote entire stories dedicated explaining to what happened during the Uchiha massacre, right? For example, the Itachi Shiden books, the Book of Bright Lights, the Book of Dark Nights, these dive like deeper into his perspective and try to justify the decisions he made. Try to be like, oh, I was just a boy at war or whatever. But the thing is, this is where you'll often see fans say, well, if you read the novels, it all makes sense. But the thing is, the fact that the story needs entire novels to explain one character's actions itself is kind of revealing of the type of storytelling we're getting here. And don't get me wrong, there's so many good moments of Naruto. Um, Frankly, just with Itachi, in fact, even Sasuke's whole story just doesn't feel satisfying to me. Just given the fact that he is also the basically the second protagonist of the story, really pushes in the idea that okay, this is all kind of justified, this is all planned out, and it was part of the story or whatever. Um, in my opinion, it doesn't really make sense towards the end. I personally think with especially with Itachi, um, there's a lot of substance to it that just doesn't add up. I personally cared more about Asuma's death because how little I knew about that character. I cared more about Shikamaru, about um, frankly, there's a lot of characters that were just um, what is this? Huh? Warning: this stream is what? Oh, hold up. Let's increase the bitrate. Maybe I'm just uploading really shit quality, and people are just like, no, we're not watching this. Let me just change this up real quick. Is there a way I can do that live? Uh, 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 uh. Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? Let's just stop recording. I'm gonna keep recording. I'm just gonna stop streaming for a second.